stealable anymore. Because it's like, it's kind of an orb attack like Viper's poison attack.
Yeah, you can't steal
yeah, you can't steal. Is that for real? That is such a shame. That used to be so cool, actually. What a loss.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, that dream is over, but there are many other dreams alive, Sid. You can keep dreaming.
No, nothing matters now. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. You got me all excited. I was like, oh, is that possible? Okay.
I just like seeing you. I just like seeing you lose your hopes.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we... Yeah,
Speaking of losing hope,
here
comes
something
Rude.
besides Clock and...
Okay.
Undying and Clock. So
Rude.
they're taking a different direction right now for the off-lane. So it's pretty decent, I'd say, against what Empire have. They have a lot of ways to deal with the Brute, but the supports... If they're going to run the Lina and support as of now, so Lina alone isn't enough to deal with the spiders, so they need a stronger hero to be able to actually deal with the Brood Mother in the lane as a support.
Okay.
Wait, actually maybe not. Maybe they are actually going to run Lina as a core. Is there still possibilities? Empire do run Tusk as a support, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so then
They played
the
on
possibility
mainly
is
alone.
still there.
Yeah, there's still a possibility there, but more or less likely that the Tusk is off lane. But there's still a chance that they might actually do that and run Lina as a core.
So then they would want to get an off-lane grab, right?
Yeah.
So what about like a Darkseer then?
Yeah, Darkseer is definitely good against the Brood Mother.
Darkseer is available.
What about an Axe? Just go all out.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's Dazzle as well.
Yoki Axe?
Axe counters
in
two
Star
things.
Ladder.
It deals with the Brood
really
and
good.
counters the Dazzle, so I could see that happening here. Darkseer is good with their heroes, a lot of synergy with the Dragon Knight and the Queen of Pain Lina as well, and good with dealing with the Brood Mother. I would say both of the picks are quite effective against the Brood and the general lineup that MVP has.
Yoki played a ridiculous Axe back at Star Ladder Season 11, and I think got a lot of people very curious and started running it into their own Rolodex of heroes. He was just ruthless, and immediately got respect banned from the second half of that tournament. So it's a shame to see Axe fall off. He's very entertaining, a crowd pleaser, the dunks, but we'll see.
Now, on that note, are any of those picks perhaps a little bit more favored for the general roundup? Because, basically what I'm asking is, are any maybe just too specifically countering Brood and not thinking about the other phases of the game?
Yeah.
It's just the multi-purpose of Axe also countering Shallow Grave is just really valuable, I think. Yeah,
There it is.
It is
The
such
Axe
a good
comes out.
The alternative of Darkseer, the problem with that is the combo, for example, Vacuum into Light Strike Array, is pretty difficult to execute compared to a lot of other combos we see Darkseer picked into. It's pretty easy to vacuum into Sonic Wave, though, but still, I think this is the more solid pick.
Yeah, Axe is much easier to execute compared to Darkseer.
They should have banned this over Bristle, but I'm not sure they realized that this was actually a scarier pick.
Yeah, I would agree.
Although
I think Axe is much scarier than Bristle.
Yeah, knowing that you had the Dazzle, I don't know why
Bristle
they didn't think
deals
of that.
with the Brood, but it doesn't deal with the Shallow Grave.
Right.
But Axe deals with both.
Yeah, may have slipped their mind, and Hot 6 used a lot of their time earlier, so right at the end.
Okay.
Yet to get a win in TI.
Is this the first pick?
0-3.
Invoker?
No, he's 0-3.
0 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't seen him on the mainstream yet, so this is a little bit exciting for us sitting out here. But so now, we've had a couple twists and turns. How are things looking now with the Brood and then the Axe to counter the Brood and the Grave and the Invoker coming up for Hot?
I'm not sure where the Invoker is going, Quaswax or Exort, because Exort would be really good with the Brood. You can easily do Roshan and stuff. Quaswax would provide, their lineup is missing a lot of disable, a lot of control. So Quaswax would actually help with that in regard and deal with the Axe pretty well. All these heroes, all these strength hero and Tusk, they really need their mana. So, but then again, Snowball can deal with the EMP as well if you time it right. It's pretty easy because you have a lot of ample time to actually cast a Snowball. EMP takes 2.5 seconds to go off.
Now, what about? Well, I guess the game is about to go in, but the Axe, is that something that's going to be a huge trouble for Hot 6?
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to try their best to dodge that lane, if they're going to try to push to put, obviously, the Axe and Brood one-on-one, and just how the early setup is going to be here, if there's going to be a lot of dancing around the lanes and seeing who gets established, and then once they find the lanes, if they're like, okay, we got to change this up right now, and they try to move all over the place, and then you're losing CS, and That could be a bit of a headache for Hot 6.
Well, both teams just one last game. Empire fighting for that next chance to just challenge VP for a tiebreaker into the upper bracket. Let's find out in game number 2.
We'll see how Yoku's able to deal with it, but I'm sure they would have picked the Yoku axe because they feel they can deal with the Brood. That is a direct pick against that Brood because Empire feel confident to deal with it. And this is going to be a very exciting game, and of course for anyone joining us, I'm sure you've already heard it from the panel, but Empire of course needing to win this game to have a chance at ending up in the top half of the groups, and therefore making it forward to the upper bracket stage of the main event. If they win this game, they will then have to go head-to-head against Virtus Pro to fight off in a best-of-1 for that final 4th position to secure them the upper bracket. But they do, of course, need to win this one. Let's see what MVP can do to try and stop it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Invoker. I'm looking forward to see the Axe as well. Ice Shard's coming out. He's actually going to trap up Forever, forcing him around the long way. He's going to be okay, though, with the heal, just in case any kind of action was going to come out from the side of Empire. And, well, here we go, Andy, straight into game 2.
Yeah, it did end up being a silent Queen of Pain. I think we talked about that during the draft as well. I'm really interested to watch this bottom lane. Like, this lane, I think, has probably some of the biggest implications outside of the tri-lane. Like, the 1v1 mid, which, by the way, MP's actually going Exort, so maybe he favors just having the high damage output. I really thought Quaswex would be very solid here at stopping the kind of 5-man deathball coming in from Resolution. But I suppose if you're going in a 3 versus 3 in top lane, having that Exort Sunstrike is going to be really nice and adding just a little bit more damage to your fight so you can actually get the kills early.
Okay, in terms of the top lane, what can we kind of expect to see here from both sides? Is this an easy win for either?
I honestly think that Empire will have a slight edge just because Queen farming, very high damage, good range. Gyrocopter has to put himself a little bit into harm's way to really successfully hit creeps in the situation. But either team can get kills. It's all about if MVP find an isolated support and he gets lifted into a rocket barrage, that hero is probably just dead.
We're going to try for it going on silent. Always want to fly there with a light strike array onto 2. Ice Shards as well, proving to be very disruptive. Stopping MVP being able to look for anything more off the back of it.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of both teams vying for a better position, trying to control this top lane. If somebody gets out of position at all, it's just going to be like a straightaway kill, I think, for either team. Although I think it's less likely that Empire give away a kill here because their core not only can stay farther off the creep wave, but also has Blink. But no, always want to fly so
he's getting
far
dragged up, and he's going to get body blocked as well. The Ice Shards perfectly from Aloha Dance, creating that ability for Always Want to Fly to back up.
If that was intentional, what a player. Like, honestly.
Perfect placement of the shards. And no one to die as of yet here on this top lane.
Always Want to Fly was actually amazingly out of position there. It is a godsend for Empire that he did not just give away First Blood.
Back to the mid lane. How are we doing in terms of CS? Well, DK 14 for 2. Against Invoker's 9 for 0 at the moment. So, well, Resolution having the slightly better time here in the mid. Bottom lane, how's the farm looking for both? Well, Yoku actually doubling the CS here of Brood. So Axe certainly having the favourable time down here, being able to clear out those creep waves.
Yeah, they're just both cutting each other. Like, if you're Axe, and it's very early in the wave, and you know that nobody's going to be pressuring you, you can just go and cut every single time. Brood actually can't do anything about that at all. So you can see, like, he's just running his spiderlings away. He realizes that if they get taunted, there's a good chance they just straight up die, especially once you start getting larger numbers of them. I think Yoku can even just walk behind a tower. Like, it's really not that dangerous. Considering how much pressure Empire are applying to top lane, he gets the 1v1 matchup that he probably wanted the most out of any other hero on the map, so he can really push the limits of this.
And he certainly seems to be doing so far. 3 minutes in, though. No one to drop. We did see Empire trying to look there for JRX as they chased him around the jungle, but still nothing. No blood yet to be spilt on the battlefield. Mid lane still Resolution, maintaining a slight lead here against MP's Invoker. And bottom lane, Yoku gets a call off and does bring Sun incredibly low here with the spins. The Spider-Man needs to be careful that he doesn't let that happen again.
The early lane is really tough for Brood, no matter what build you go. The build that you actually kill him with the incapacitating bite, you still need level 6. Because if you get called on top of a creep wave and you don't have insatiable hunger to offset the spin damage, you just die too quickly. So I think he'll probably just end up skipping it and opt for the jungle farming build. That's the more stable lane pushing style of strategy. Because you have to assume eventually Yoku is going to rotate. Like, he's going to get Blink, and then he's going to go try to either help the tri lane or he's going to try to gank mid.
I mean, the question is, Yoku in this situation, does he just go straight for the blink, or does he look for the Vanguard to make it impossible for the Broodlings to do anything, and so that he can continue to farm?
Oh my god, that money.
Damn, top lane. They get the lift, indeed, dragging up to the high ground the Lina, and always want to fly there, giving away first blood and giving it to the gyrocopter as well. Forev going to be able to pick that one up for Hot 6.
Yeah, the tri-lane for Empire failing is going to be really bad news. They're relying heavily on sustaining their 1v1 matchups because right now Resolution is winning mid and Yoku is winning bottom. So the tri-lane needs to, at the very least, not give away kills. That is the ultimate bad thing that can happen because once your supports start moving, you have more options for Chaos, for a Hot 6 to be able to also have their own support rotations. Although I guess you could argue that Dazzler rotation isn't really that good. Like, the Rubik is going to have to stay top more or less, or I guess they can move the Rubik and keep a Dazzle top, as they've opted to do here.
I always want to fly it. Low Dance actually coming in with a rotation on Tusk. They're going to find the Dragon Tail, and now with the Elder Dragon form, looking for MP. Jerax is there, and the TP reaction from Heen as well will force back both the Tusk and Resolution here on the Dragon Knight. They're not going to be able to find anything, but of course, top lane now. Silent and always want to fly. Know that Forev's on his own, and this is the time to jump, going straight in. The Rocket Barrage doing a hell of a lot to Silent. He needs to be careful. Always want to fly, trying to bring this one down. Has he got enough damage? Forev's just going to chase this down with the Rocket Barrage. Can he get the kill onto Silent? No, the Light Strike Array. They'll just be able to turn it around, but Silent.
Sunstrike! Bam! Oh my.
Rubik have found it anyway there with the right click, but nonetheless, a 1-for-1 trade, and Silent, playing on the edge of his life there, does end up paying for it.
What was that stun? That stun wasn't even close. Always Want to Fly is not having a very good game right now. There were 2 times where he was really out of position, and that stun was like a huge biff. If Silent died because of that, that would have been like I think a tilting play for Empire.
Silent, nonetheless, they did find the kill on Jerax. Going to go in for more here. But Forever is being backed up by Hina and Jerax this time. Bottom lane. How's it going for both of the heroes? Yoku has 2,300 gold. He's got enough for that Blink Dagger now. 6 minutes in. Ridiculous farm here for the Axe. Brood has managed to find a way up through level 6 and closing on level 7, applying the pressure to the tower. But the fact that the Axe has just been eating up every wave. I mean, this man is one of the richest Axes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, the net worth difference is pretty much entirely his gold. Like, it's just the fact that Yoku is having an insane game. But you can see that Sunbi now, he's got enough levels so where he can actually start cutting the wave himself. So both heroes are pretty much going to do the same thing. Like, both towers will stay at 100% HP. They're both going to continually just eat the creep wave, and the lane will stay stagnant.
They're going to try and go for Silent here. They've not got enough damage now. Low Dance with the Ice Shards, trapping up Heen. The Sunstrike will come out. Will it connect? Yes, it will. A Low Dance is going to get taken out by Invoker. It's a 1-for-1 so far now. Forever, the Rocket Barrage doing so much. Always Want to Fly to fall. There's the rotation here from Resolution with the Breathe Fire. Will bring down Forev, turning it into a 2-for-2 here on this top lane. But still the game incredibly close between these two sides. And Yoku does now have the Blink Dagger picked up. Will, of course, be noted here by the side of Hot 6. And will be kind of obvious, of course, when he leaves the lane. I'm sure they'll be very, very careful when some reports back that there is no Axe down here.
Yeah, but he knows as soon as he leaves the lane that the Brood is going to kill his tower. Like 100%. And the thing is, not really any other hero on the team can deal with the Brood but him. So Empire might just be saying, you need to stay bottom for a really long time. Like, just make sure that our towers don't just die. And they're going to rely on the 4v4 and trying to win their matchup that way, instead of having Yoku kind of walk around and look for any kind of engagement.
Oh, there we go, Yoku. Just coming into the jungle.
He really wants to find the Brood. Like,
he does. I mean,
he's hoping that he finds somebody farming the woods, and he's waiting for him to creep cut again, just to see where he goes.